Welcoming guys to my preview for this Sunday's Lions and Bengals Week 5 game on late Sunday afternoon. So the Lions are traveling to the Bengals at 4:25 Eastern PM. And it's a good afternoon game. Get it out of the way, get it done. But you look at these two teams. Start of the season, you look at them, especially a playoff contending team, possibly Super Bowl contending team. Especially depends on how things go with you're looking at if Joe Burrow could stay healthy, then you're looking at this Bengals team and they could be a Super Bowl contending team. For the Lions, again, a lot of transition this year, especially with both coordinators on both sides of the ball departing for head coaching jobs. So there's also going to be that big transition. But going into this, coming up this game, you're looking at a couple of things here. Um, you have Jared Goff, who's ranked second currently this season. He has 9 passing touchdowns and 2 interceptions over the first month of the season. Only Drake May has only Drake May is ahead of him with 10. And then you're looking at really the running game. Jamar Gibbs, David Montgomery, again they're leading the charge for pass rush per game, 139. Jamar Gibbs is ranking 10th in the league for rushing yards, 271 yards. He's gained about 4.7 carries per game and 4 rushing touchdowns. And then, Montgomery, again, since he's come from Chicago, 5.7 rushing yards. He's, only, Christian McCaffrey has slightly more. But yeah, and then you're looking at that's St. Brown, who again, so far this season has 6 reps, 6 receiving touchdowns over the first 4 games of the season. And then, so it's not been a. But again, look at the line. Look at our first game, especially against the Packers, when really the offense was not really at its best. John Morton hadn't found his rhythm yet with this offense. Defense wise as well, with Calvin Shepard on the defense side of things. But it looks like we're getting there. We're getting at the positions that we need to be. And then you're looking at really the offensive line that had to be addressed. I still think we need to beef it up a bit more in the trades and in the trades. But Penny Sewell, again on the ground as an offensive tackle. He's just been great so far this season, protecting Jared Goff. So yeah, let's get into really the preview. So going into really like the last. Let's go start off in the season. So the last game out we had, it was against the Skid Marks, and ultimately it wasn't again. Jared Goff had much to do in the game. He had about 4 or 5 passing touchdowns. Really good game. Again, Jamar Gibbs, Dave Montgomery again showing out why the great. And then you had Jamar Gibbs. Amos St. Brown had 2 touchdowns in the game as well, as we won 10-34. Then you're looking at really the defense side of things. I know we've had a couple of injuries, but with in Hudson, it looks like he had a bit of an injury. But you're looking at the lines. We may have got something going on with this defense. I know Marcus Davenport's injured as I'm recording still, but Aiden Hutchinson's back to his best. He had about 3.5 sacks. He had really a good game against the Browns. Really came back into his own again. So yeah, looking at the Bengals side of things, really just again they had a good start. First 2 weeks of the season, they had a good start. They had a good first 2 game start, and then the last 2 games. It's really kind of, Joe Burrow gets injured, which is a huge loss for them. And their offense just isn't the same. Like Jamar Chase isn't hitting as he should be hitting so far. You're looking at T. Higgins. I know that they give them a fucking shit ton of money. in the off season, but he's not been really hitting his stride. And I look at really the Bengals' draft, and I wasn't really too impressed with the draft class. Shamar Stewart again as a pass rusher, they needed to get really a safety in this draft. That's one thing in the defense really for this Bengals team that they needed to get a pass. They need to get a safety to help this defense, but Shamar Stewart he's not really the best pass rusher in this draft, but again, bodies and numbers. They got Dylan Fairchild on the offensive line. Miles Murphy again, who is going to be coming up to his going to be coming up to gain a big shit ton of money with the Bengals soon. So yeah, what's the weaknesses for this team? Especially the weaknesses if you're looking at from the Bengals point of view. The secondary, you can get it in the secondary. Get it Jamar Stewart, get it Miles Murphy, especially on that on the secondary, get them in the air, on the ground, so get Dave Montgomery, keep running the ball with Dave Montgomery and Jamar Chase, and then go for Jameis Williams as well, Jameis Williams and Amos St. Brown. They're the two kind of key things. If you're looking at on a Lions side of things, you've got to definitely go after that secondary of the Bengals. So I'm kind of I know I said just a few years ago Jamar Chase and T. Higgins haven't been performing too well lately, but again on their day they are still fantastic weapons for this Bengals team, and if you're looking at them for a strengths point of view, you're definitely going to have them performing at their best. They're going to have to have one of the best games. Also for the weaknesses as well, is that Joe Burrow's injured, and I'm like, if I'm Shedeur Sanders, if I was Shedeur Sanders, why the hell did you not go to fucking Cincinnati? Because again, yeah, you wouldn't have played every week, but you would have actually been QB2, and especially when Joe Burrow gets injured, which again, time to time he does get injured. He would have started, but now he's going to be QB3. Doesn't make any sense, but yeah, there are kind of the strengths and weaknesses for the Bengals point of things. Strengths for the Lions, like I said, the running game is a big part of our game. So especially, like I said, Montgomery, Jamar Gibbs. You got to look in the air as well. You got to look at St. Brown and James Williams, Samuel Porter as well at tight end. So there's kind of the strengths of this team. Weaknesses. Again, the defensive edge is still a position of we not got much. We haven't got we haven't got much depth in the defensive end position because again Marcus Davenport is injured. He's injured and right now, and then you're looking at Brian Branch. He hasn't been really pulling up trees this year, especially with a couple of times against like the Ravens, Packers, even against the Bears as well. Yeah, he's been kind of questionable this year so far, Brian Branch. Now you're looking at really two guys here that got drafted, Tate Routledge and Christian Mahogany, new offensive linemen. Again, they're still trying to adapt here, but again, they got Penny Sewell as helping them on the offensive line, so it couldn't be too bad. Like I said, last game, Lions coming into this game, it was a 3-1 team. Bengals 2-2. Bengals on a short week. We got a great win on the road to the skid. We got a great home win against the skid marks last time. 34-10, and then the Bengals lost on Monday night to the Denver 3-28. And you got to think questions of the coaching of Zach Taylor. How long is it before you're going to move on from it? I'm not saying he's on the hot seat, but come on, with this team, you're in a championship winning window. I know your rookie quarterback's injured, but you're in a championship winning window, and you're stinking up the place 3-28 on prime time. Especially you definitely needed some more additions on that defense side of the ball, more weapons on the offense side of the ball. Score, the Lions going into this are heavy favorites, minus 10.5 point favorites. I'm gonna go for the Lions to win, but I'm going to have the Bengals to cover that backdoor spread. So give me the Lions to win, Bengals to cover the backdoor spread. My score prediction for this game, I'm going to go 20 to, I'm going to go Lions 20, Bengals 11. So yeah, that's my predictions. I'm going to go for the Lions win, Bengals to cover 20 to 11 to the Lions. And yeah, one pride, let's guys fucking beat the fucking Bengals at home and on the road. And I'll be back for my picks in a couple of days. Well, not a couple of days. I'll be back fucking at the weekend, guys. Peace.